They called him a man of God, a pastor anointed with miracles. Blind eyes opened, barren women carried children, and the rich and powerful bowed at his feet. Every Sunday, his church overflowed with desperate souls searching for hope. But what no one knew was that their pastor carried a secret so dark, it would tear apart his church, disgrace his family, and shock the entire nation. This is not just a story about a pastor. This is the story of a hidden covenant, a betrayal of faith, and the night his secret was finally exposed. They called him the most powerful pastor in town. His church overflowed every Sunday. People came from far and near to receive miracles. Women desperate for children left with testimonies. Men struggling in business suddenly rose to wealth. He was loved. He was feared. But behind the altar, behind the white suit, the Bible, and the microphone, he carried a dark secret. A secret that, once revealed, would destroy his church, scatter his followers, and leave his family broken forever. This is the story of Pastor Daniel. Pastor Daniel wasn't always a man of God. He grew up in a small village in Kogi State, poor and forgotten. His father was a palm wine tapper, his mother a petty trader. He hated poverty. He hated watching his mother struggle. One day, he left for Lagos with nothing but a bag of clothes and an old Bible. He slept under bridges, did odd jobs, and begged to survive. Then one night, while praying at the beach, a strange old man appeared. The man told him, "If you want to escape poverty and be worshipped by the world, I can show you the way." Pastor Daniel thought it was an angel. But that night marked the beginning of his journey, not into light, but into darkness. Within a year, Daniel opened his church, Fire of Glory Ministry. At first, it was a small wooden structure. But people started flocking there after hearing about his miracles. A blind woman saw. A cripple walked. A barren couple conceived. Or so it seemed. Soon, the offering baskets overflowed. Cars filled the church compound. Politicians came for special prayers. Daniel became a celebrity pastor, dressing in fine suits, riding in convoys, living in mansions. But the source of his power was not what the people thought. Behind the loud prayers and powerful sermons, Pastor Daniel had another life. Every month, on the night of the full moon, he left his mansion quietly. He told his wife he was going for a prayer retreat. But instead, he drove to a lonely forest road, where a hidden shrine awaited. There, he knelt before a blood-stained altar. The same old man from the beach was waiting. That man wasn't an angel. He was a priest of a dark cult. Pastor Daniel had made a covenant. For every miracle, a soul must be sacrificed. For every prophecy, something must be taken. Church members who came to him for prayers didn't know, while they celebrated breakthroughs, their destinies were being exchanged at the shrine. Some of them later lost children mysteriously, others fell sick without cure, and some never recovered from poverty again. But they dared not question him. Who would? He was God's anointed. One day, Daniel's assistant pastor, Brother James, grew suspicious. He noticed the strange pattern. The sick who got healed later developed other problems. People who testified of sudden wealth ended up bankrupt within months. And the pastor always disappeared on certain nights, returning with red eyes and a strange smell. James decided to follow him. At midnight, he trailed Daniel's car. It led to the forest road. He hid in the bushes, heart pounding. What he saw that night shook him to the core. Pastor Daniel, dressed in white, kneeling before a horned idol, chanting incantations. A live goat was slaughtered. Blood poured on the altar. The man of God lifted his hands, shouting, "Give me more power. Give me more followers. Let my church never run dry." James secretly recorded everything with his phone. By morning, the video leaked. First, to a few church members. Then to the entire city. Within hours, the internet exploded. Pastor caught worshipping idol. Fake miracles exposed. Cult pastor sacrifices church members' destinies. The once praised man of God was now the most hated man in town. On Sunday, when Daniel arrived at church, the gates were locked. Angry members had gathered with placards, "Thief! Liar! Idol worshipper!" Some cried, some cursed, others demanded their money back. Police stormed the scene. Chaos broke out. Women who once fell at his feet now spat at him. Men who once gave him cars now threw stones. Daniel tried to speak, but nobody listened. His wife collapsed, weeping in shame. His children hid their faces. The pastor who once commanded thousands was dragged into a police van like a common criminal. His mansion was seized. His cars taken. His Fire of Glory ministry abandoned, weeds growing where people once gathered to worship. Today, if you pass through that street in Lagos, you'll see the old signboard of his church, faded and broken. The once mighty pastor is now forgotten, awaiting trial in prison. The people learned a bitter lesson: not every miracle is from God. Not every man of God speaks with clean hands. Pastor Daniel thought he could bury the truth forever. But as the Bible says, there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed. And so, the pastor's secret destroyed not just his church, but his entire life. What do you think about this story? Do you believe most miracles we see today are real, or do you think there are more Pastor Daniels out there hiding behind the pulpit? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because more shocking stories are coming your way.